Then I started searching YouTube for water fasting videos, and quite a few different ones popped up. There was 7-day water fast, there was Dana White's water fast, random 21-day water fast guy. Russell Okung lost 100 pounds from fasting for 100 days. This doctor, this one, I can't remember what his name was, Dr. Jin W. Sung, he kind of goes through all the biological, scientific angles on why you should be fasting. Obviously Andrew Huberman, various others. Who else have we got on here? Yeah, look, Dana White again. And one of the main ones actually is Dr. Alan Goldhammer, and you can pay and go to his water fasting retreats and have a water fast under medical supervision for about 40 days. That's great as well. So yeah, just rolling through the actual YouTube feed to see what content was available. Hey guys, what's up? I just got done fasting for 86 hours. I feel like a superhero. I feel incredible, and I want to tell you how I did it. I love sharing this kind of stuff with you. So when I left the event on Saturday night, I started fasting. And here's a picture of me Saturday night when I left. I just got done this morning, so Saturday to Wednesday, and here are the pictures of me this morning. So I don't know if you've seen this online, but it's called the 7-day water fast. And this, doctors have done studies on this, and this thing is legit. It gives you an over 70% chance of not getting cancer, Alzheimer's, and other nasty diseases. And basically, you drink water for 72 hours. Gary likes that better than 7. He says it's safer. And I'm gonna walk you through what the protocol is in this video. So the first 24 hours, all you drink is water, but you can put electrolytes in your water. This is what I use. I'm sure you could use any electrolytes you want, but make sure that there's 0, 0, 0, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, 0 calories. This is all 0, and this stuff tastes really good. This is what I've been using for a while. So the first 24 hours, you drink water.
Right, so it's currently day 1 of my 14-day water fast. I'm gonna see how long I can go. I've just hit a 11k run around Fulham and Putney, Wandsworth Bridge. Feeling kind of fresh still, haven't really eaten much today, my sleep pattern's a bit messed up. Head is buzzing, as you can tell, and thoughts are all over the place, but yeah, I'm gonna push it for as long as I think it's possible to go. I'm currently around 98 kilos. I'd like to get under 90 kilos. Last time I did a 9.5 day water fast, I kind of got the runs on the last day, that was the only problem. And yeah, just looking at trying to reduce the cellular aging, damage, chronic stress, reduce inflammation in the nervous system. This year has been crazy intense, and yeah, just trying to end the year with rolling the clock back if possible, trying to roll the clock back and rest and recuperate, so go into 2024 and hit it hard. Yeah, I think in general it's been quite an interesting year. I've learnt lots. There's been a lot of growth, a lot of understanding, a lot of revelations, new things that have come into my mind. What I will also do is I shall take a picture of my body and a video of my weight, or a picture of my weight as well, so people can see just how much weight I'm currently at. I watched a fantastic documentary on Netflix, and I think it was called Fasting, Healing Journey or something along those lines, and it's 2 brothers, and it's about their healing journey over 20 days water fast and then a 20-day juice fast. And even last time when I did the fast as well, I had a very, very, very intense dreams on the 3rd day. I had clarity of thought, my skin cleared up, I'd lost loads of weight. It was just incredible. It was incredible. And I think imagine you've gone your whole life, 28 years, without actually physically ever allowing your system to fully shut down for a hard factory reset and kind of clear its system, clear all the pipes out. The weirdest part is this, right? So you're 4, 5, 6 days into a water fast, and you're still dropping kilos in the bathroom, and you're looking around, you're like, wow, where I haven't eaten anything, I can't feel anything moving, and your stomach gets flatter and flatter over the days, and then you think, wow, the average person must be holding maybe 3, 4, 5 kilos of shit in them, basically. It's full of just crap, and it's amazing because in your mind you're like, yeah, you know, I've had my greens, I've had my smoothie, my vegetarian, my digestion is like clockwork. But when you actually sit and observe it or start having a look at it, it's just, it blows your mind as to how is it that 5 days into a water fast I'm still dropping kilos in the bathroom, dropping packs in the bathrooms. It's going to be interesting this time just to observe and see, you know, how things pan out. But you know, what I'm basically looking to do is I am basically looking to lose some weight, reduce inflammation on my nervous system, and see if I can get under that 90 kilo range. And I don't feel too bad now, to be fair. I've just been ill for about 7-8 days, so I've been doing a lot of sleeping, but I think it's perfect time of year to just really slow it down and just get ready for getting the new year fresh. And my personal opinion, they are all energy games. This whole thing is an energy game, so whoever has the most energy in his system can think the clearest, can get the most leverage, will get ahead. And a lot of people don't realise that most of the mainstream things are there to absorb your attention, absorb your energy and take your money, basically. They're not there to facilitate or empower you in any possible manner. And that's why I put these things out there, because I also have contributed to conspicuous consumption of information on the internet, and I think it's time to put a different spin on just the same regurgitated topics and see how we can open, you know, all of these 21-year-old life coaches that, you know, what have you really lived at 21? I respect the hustle, I respect the grind, but in all honesty, you know, how much life experience can you actually truly have at that age? You know, even I'm currently 28, I'm approaching 30. I still think 5 to 10 years from now my life's going to be completely different. So I can share what's happened up to this point, and I'm in a fantastic position overall. But in general, I just don't think these men, when I say men, these boys are not qualified to be telling people how to be men. But you know, it's just one of those. You know, we'll see how things pan out. But what I will do is I'm going to take a short 5 to 10 minute video over the course of the week, stitch up some of my running app videos and my Whoop band and stuff, so I can track all the metrics for it, and people can see how I slept, what time I slept, and yeah, you know, I'm gonna basically count and measure and metricize everything, quantify it so that people can actually see. The thing is, I've got no blood test markers at the moment, but from a body sensor, what's available to the average man kind of view, I'm going to show the things that you can have easy access to, i.e. body weight, sleep time, heart rate variability through the Whoop band, and so on. Number of times gone to the bathroom, general mood. It's a bit subjective, that one, general mood, but you know, yeah, we'll see. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to take a 5 to 10 minute video on a daily basis, and I shall take pictures of myself, and you know, let's get it rolling, let's get it popping, because ultimately, you know, there's a lot of random things out there. They're not interesting and they're not clever, and they're not, I don't know why they're on, but a lot of people watch them, and you can only sit there and you're like, what are you boys talking about? But anyway, wish me luck, hope it goes great, hope this week is fantastic, and finish the week on a high.
Right, so if you live in London, you know that it's far easier to just order things off Amazon Prime and have them delivered to your house rather than going to the shop, packing all the items and then coming home with them. So I rolled through the Amazon Fresh kind of basket and I grabbed some pineapples. They have a whole host of harvested, ripe and ready to eat, sweet and juicy, different kinds of fruit and food there. I would say that the price is actually not too bad either. It's not as cheap as Aldi or Lidl, I would say, or maybe Farm Foods, or depends on how fresh the fruit and food is that you will look to get. And it's not as pricey as, say, Waitrose or, you know, some of the, you know, Ocado or somewhere like that. It's a kind of a mid-tier option, but the main thing is that everything you want, you can kind of view it before you buy it. I would say that the pineapples were a very good price. The apples probably 20-30p each. Green apples, and you're gonna have to excuse the spices in the kind of trolley as well. I was just looking at grabbing some spices from my kitchen for my spicy drawer, you know. And yeah, so just rolling through the actual Amazon Prime or Amazon Fresh app. So the beetroots are a fantastic deal. So there's some organic beetroots at the bottom. Amazon easy peelers, yeah, I mean £1.30. You can't really go wrong there. There's a lot of juice produced from those. Ginger as well, it gives your juices a massive kick relative to if you just have them raw. They've got kind of no taste to them or little taste to them. And yeah, so just ordered all the fruit off here. And one thing you have to bear in mind when you're water fasting is that you're going to be traditionally quite lightheaded. And because you're lightheaded, I wouldn't recommend going to the shop or something like that, because every time you stand up, you feel like you might collapse sometimes until you have some salt. So you don't want to be in public, you don't want to be traveling around, you don't want to be operating any machinery or doing any heavy thinking or lifting. You want to be just taking it real easy. To a juice fast because I had quite a lot of pain in my liver and my kidneys, and you know, severe pain. So you know, I bought a 35-40 quid juicer off Amazon. I'll leave leave one in the comments below. A Bagot juicer, just cheap one. Excuse my dirty countertop there. You know, the lads have been cooking them, it cleared up. And just simple juices: carrots, apples, oranges, a bit of ginger. And you know, you want to pick juices which typically have a high water content, and therefore you'll get more juice out from them. You can get two different types of juicers. I think there's a masticating juicer and a centrifugal juicer. The one which is rotating, I think you get more juice from it, which is the masticating one. And yeah, so you know, carrots, fantastic. We got some tomatoes here, organic red beetroots with the beautiful stems as well. They've got a lot of nutrients in those as well, the greens and the leaves on there. And then below that we have some ginger. Ginger just gives it a bit of a spicy kick. I would say out of all the juices, the beetroot juice was the most fantastic tasting. It's such a strange, earthy yet sweet and fulfilling flavour out of all of them. And it kind of, I don't know, I'm not sure how to explain it. It just has a fantastic taste to it. So here we've got some pineapple juice, and this one's just pure pineapple. So I thought I'd just go and have some pineapple juice, to be honest with you. I bought these little containers off Amazon again, the little glass jars with plastic lids to store my juices in, and they were quite useful, you know, during the fast. And you want to try to make sure that they're filled up to the top and they have a little bit of lemon or some water in them, so it stops
Hi guys, so it's currently day 2 of my 7-day juice fast. I just finished doing a 7-day water fast as well, which I broke yesterday around midday time, and I've just gone for a 6-7 kilometer run around the Fulham area, up Putney Bridge. Excuse me, I'm just walking around the field now. It's quite cold actually, it's probably like 10 degrees actually, but I thought I'd share some of the insights from the actual fasting itself. The first, I would say, day or so, you don't really realise. The first day or so, you don't really realise that you haven't eaten much. You just go to bed normally, you wake up the next day. The second day, you start to physically slow down a lot, and you do notice a lack of energy. Your brain gets slow, your speech is slurred. It's almost like you're a little bit pissed. You're a little bit pissed, and that's the second day. So you make it through the first 2 days kind of fine. And the last 10-day water fast that I did in the summer, I actually drank lemon juice and salt for each of the days, and vitamin C tablets as well to flush my liver out, because I'd never done it before. And on this version of it, or this time around, basically what happened was I didn't have the lemon juice. I was just drinking a lot of hydrogenated water, or ionised water, filtered ionised water, and having a few vitamins like calcium, potassium, magnesium, them kinds of things to keep your electrolytes up whilst you're fasting. That was the 2 days. That was the first 2 days. On the third day, when I woke up, it was like physically waking up in a coffin. The stench was disgusting. It was repulsive. It was like a smell. It was almost like your spirit waking back up in a clothing. It's like wearing clothes that you haven't changed in a few days. I can't explain it. Maybe at being at a festival and you haven't showered, and you have that weird stench to you. It's like, it's not quite, there's not really an explanation for it, but you can sense it. In all intensive purposes, had showered the night prior, I'd washed and cleaned. I don't really use soap too much, or if I do, I use like organic, the cubes, like the scrubs rather than the shower gel. It's got less chemicals in it. Yeah, so the third day you wake up and you can physically notice the stench, or the actual scent of your system cleansing itself out. As the fat starts to break down, your body stores all the toxins in the fat, and the fat then, when you go into ketosis, so whenever your glycogen stores are used up and your liver glycogen stores are used up, all the sugar is gone from your body, you switch over into ketosis, your body starts breaking down the fats. For the actual fuel, but also alongside the fats, it starts to break down all of the toxins, get metabolized. There's quite a lot of heavy pressure. There's quite a lot of heavy pressure on your liver and your kidneys, because they're obviously metabolizing. They're metabolizing a lot of the situation. But effectively, the third day was quite strange. In the morning, I had a just awareness and attention of the fact that, I'm detoxing now, and so I slowed down a lot on the third day. Fourth day was very sluggish as well. I wasn't so conscious of the scent. Fifth day was very sluggish. I'll say halfway through the fifth day, I started feeling great. I started feeling very light and energetic. I was drained still, but I felt very airy and light in the head top. And then maybe on the sixth day, I was just normal. And seventh day, I kind of broke the fast, and I was glad to break it. I was grateful to break it. I didn't eat any fruit or food. I basically juiced up some pineapples, I juiced up some carrots and some beetroot and a few apples and ginger, and I had it as part of the juice fasting. I broke my water fast with a juice fast. I've done 7 days water fasting, and now I'm on day 2 of 7 of the juice fasting. And even now, I've just hit a 6-7k run, and I normally do a 10 or 11k run in about an hour. You have to bear in mind that I am about 98 kilos, 100 kilos. I'm not light, so like an hour is a good time for me. And I could only do about 6-7k. I just felt so out of breath, and my lungs were kind of full of mucus and crap. And I think that's a lot of the juicing, antioxidants, and all the fruits and vitamins, minerals, all of them pulling out the shit from your system, from the insides. And yeah, that was the first time that I've actually gone for a run. I only started running this year actually. Even my first ever run wasn't as difficult as the one I've just done. I found that run stupendously hard. It felt as if your lungs are balloons. or your lungs are balloons. Let's imagine it felt as if the balloons weren't inflating properly, or if they were inflating, every time they inflated to full capacity, there was a crap coming out the other side. I'm going to carry on juice fasting. I've actually dropped 4 kilos in weight so far, and I'm going to, by the 28th or 29th, start having fruits again. I just didn't want to wait till January to get the jump on the new year. Everyone's going to be joining the gym in January saying, oh, I've got New Year's resolutions, I want to do this, I want to do that. I thought, I've got a month off. I've had a fucking mad intense year, crazy fucking year, starting up a tax business from scratch, knowing nothing about sales and marketing, being a professional quantity surveyor and having a hard technical skill, and trying to translate that over into winning business, email marketing, telesales. It's been very difficult, and on top of that, having no budget to do it. So if you fail, you're fucked. You're fucked. That's it. You're just done. So trying to be effective whilst knowing nothing about it and efficient on cost has been very difficult as well. You can see that it's still clearing out. Yes, it's been very difficult, but we've managed to do, just over £2 million in tax savings this year for our clients, and hopefully next year we want to bump it up to about, I would say, 15-20 mil. So if I want a 10x the turnover, obviously a contingent fee-based business, we charge the client a fee when we save them tax. If I want a 10x the turnover, I've got to be able to serve more people at a greater depth, at a greater level of service, and have more happy clients, customers, more referrals, and just get it snowballing. But we're at the stage now where we've proved the concept and the MVP of the model, and the next phase is scaling and takeoff. So I'm very, very, very excited for 2024. I think it's going to be an incredible year. I think we're about to break records, we're about to shake up the industry, and I think that we have consistently proven that our ability to basically take the meat from the big boys and go and hunt the mammoths and bring back the food, in the sense of, and I'm vegetarian actually, but bring back the actual large fee paying clients. We've taken on the likes of several tier 1 blue chip multinational PLC accounting companies, and there's a lot of battery farm chickens in these companies. They get paid just enough not to die, and they have no real willpower, passion, drive. There's just emptiness, just like a shed full of chickens. There's nothing, there's no fire in that system, there's no survival instinct, there's nothing. And so for me, I'm just looking at it thinking, right, how can I push this to the next level and really make a dent in the universe? And that's what we intend to do. But from our perspective, it's definitely, it's capable, it's possible. It's not even possible. We've proven the outcome through the actions, and hence why the water fasting and the juice fasting, because in order for me to push this to the next level and to take it up a notch, and just smash it out of the park for all intensive purposes, I need a clean system. Every year people have an MOT on their cars. They've got 20, 30, 40, 50 grand cars, right? And they'll go and take their cars to the MOT as part of their statutory regulation, so you have to take your car in. And what they do is they'll go to the MOT, they'll take the tyres off, they'll check all the air pressure, check all the wheels, all the hubs, all the rotational forces on the underside of the car. Then they'll drain the oil, change the oil filter, remove the air filter, replace the air filter often, replace the cabin filter. But the weirdest part is that no one ever considers the human body for an MOT. There's never ever an input to say, right, once a year, have some time out to declutter, switch off, pull apart, clean, and put back together the insides of your system, so that you're more energy efficient, you burn fuel better, you dispose of decontaminants easier, and that's the strangest part. But the interesting thing is this, right? There's no money, there's no financial gain. I'm a commercial person. I often think in terms of value and cost, time and cost. Everything often feels calculated, or it seems contract based, and there's no money in fasting. If you fast, no one makes any money. You don't spend any money on products, you don't buy any food, you don't buy any minerals, you don't buy any vitamins, you don't buy any medicines, you don't go to the doctors, you don't go out to the shop. You sit at home and you drink water and you do nothing. And when you do nothing for a week, no one makes any money. And that's why it's not really pushed in that sense, because at the end of the day, you know, people, this whole thing is just set up in a way that unless they can make a few quid off you, they're not really interested. So that's an interesting part for me, is that, you know, I often feel like the things that are good for you are not the top of the narrative, and they start saying, you know, when you guys go out at the weekend, yeah, and you go and pick up and you get on it for 2, 3, 4 days on a fucking trot, and you haven't slept and your eyes are like this, right? Do you ask your doctor then? None of you go and ask your doctor, excuse me doctor, I'm about to get off my trolley like Tony Montana for the next week, and you know, can you check my health and that? But every time you mention a water fast or a juice fast or a sauna or a cold shower, people suddenly start saying, oh, you know, it's all the health benefits, you know, it's dangerous, we need to check with the doctor. So what are you talking about? What utter rubbish. I'm going to intermix this video with a few screenshots, snapshots from other people, teachers, mentors, online mentors. I've not met many of these people, but I've used their philosophy for life to base my decisions in and around, and I'm going to chop it up as part of the video. Only people like Paul Chek, Andrew Huberman, Sadhguru, who else? A few, Dr. Alan Goldhammer. There's a few others. They're like fasting kind of benefactors. I don't know what the word is now. Fasting, you know, contributors, or people that actually want you to start fasting. But it's incredible when you actually stop, take the time out, do nothing, let your body rest. You know, don't go out driving heavy machinery, lifting heavy weights in the gym. You know, the funny part is that on the first day of my water fast, I went for a run for 11k, felt fantastic, there's so much sugar in my body. The second day I went to the gym, felt fantastic, came home, had a really good gym session, a heavy gym session. Now I wouldn't recommend that. Obviously I was using machines, they weren't free weights, but you know, I wouldn't recommend going and doing free weights or lifting, you know, doing any kind of activity, even if it's mental activity that requires higher level clear focused thought. Until maybe you're in a day 4 or 5, you might be able to do some of the things, but you know, your function does slow down a lot. So yeah, so you know, because it slows down a lot, what I wouldn't recommend kind of like pushing yourself or putting yourself in a situation where, you know, it's potentially dangerous for you based on what you're doing. But yeah, this week's been fantastic. I've had a lot of hip pain, wrist pain, my kidney was hurting, my liver was hurting, my back hurts, my neck hurts, my arm feels like it's about to be dislocated, my right forearm. I have had pains in parts of my body that I did not know existed, right? And I'm sat here thinking, I didn't even know that was there. You know, it's the most strangest phenomenon, but you know, the body is an incredible machine. The body is a machine, and every machine, as per any kind of insurance warranty or any kind of you want to be a commercial person and get, you know, a 24-month assured warranty on a product, and they'll say to you, right, you need a service period every 3 to 6 months. You need an approved service engineer to come out, or every year, to service the machine to ensure that we fix and we detect any minor damage before it gets worse. But when you look at the human system, no, there's no statutory, mandatory, implied,
just give it a
explicit,
nice
whatever
shake.
You want to say. There's no forced version of you taking
the bright
the time
red
out
to it. You
every
want to try
year
and
to
pick
have
non-GMO,
a service engineer, i.e. yourself, come and take your machine apart
as well.
and clean your machine and put it back together. Now the thing is,
it's
you
not
can't
that sweet.
physically
It's quite starchy,
disassemble the human machine.
You know, it does have a lot of sugars in there.
Has to be cleansed from the inside.
Kind of downing the juices.
You know, when you start actually cleansing it, you realise it's necessary.
Little bit sour,
so I did a 10-day one in July. That's the first time I ever fasted. I just went for 10 days straight. I felt like my
there's
body
another
needed
one. This one I believe is a
carrot juice. And then the 7-day one was the one I ended yesterday.
Not
you know,
mix the juices
in my face as well.
and get the full.
I feel like I look a lot younger than I was looking puffy in my face.
Carrot juice is quite sweet actually.
It will come down a bit more, but the bags around my eyes and my face just feels clearer. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to the next leg of this. But I'm going to post the times, pictures for each day,
juice,
how much weight I lost over the week, information on
just the flavour
going to the bathroom and a few bits like that. You know, I don't really want to be out here in public talking about, but yeah, let's just keep it posted. And thank you for watching this fasting video. I really hope that
tells you everything you need to know right
there. This isn't the end of it, but I honestly hope that
is a celery juice. I wouldn't say celery juice is one of my favourite
juices. You get a
lot of juice out of the celery. It's mainly water.
Pull it apart, or
it's got quite a
stop it
bitter
and
taste
slow
in
it
it, but
down.
you want to try and get some greens in as well. You don't want just fruit.
I can assure you, when you go back to
with
training,
some vegetables as well, or some kind of veg, it's more ideal. You don't want pure fruit.
Consuming glucose for about 24 hours, but
organic beetroot juice.
When I go back to the gym, all of my lifts will go up.
Such a dense colour. I mean, if I was a vampire, I'd be living it up, because I'd just be living off these things. But they add a lot of nitrous oxide.
And energetic function
I've got some
than they were prior.
some drippage there, drippage, and
be one of the first videos.
A lot of nitrous to your blood. This one, I think
so busy
it was
that I haven't really had the time to, but I'm going to commit to putting out
I think
one
it was
video
a tomato
and just see what happens.
juice.
Part of the
Thought I'd
marketing.
mix them up. So
You're
you can
part
see
of
it's
the
lighter
AI takeover
than the
spiel,
rest of them. It's more, it's got more water in it.
Thank you for watching,
and a lot less fibre. We've got another one here. I believe this one is carrots and ginger, or might be in carrots, orange and ginger. I made so many juices over the week that I just lost track, so I just mainly identifying them using the colours of the jars. To be honest with you, as there were a lot of my fridge was absolutely stacked full of juices. We had a bit of a leakage here, but you can see the juice are kind of pouring out some juice. So the juice, and it didn't have an expensive one. It was it was processing the celery, and it was just juicing out the celery very, very easily, because it's a very high water content. It was like butter compared to the rest of them. Some of the carrots and the ginger and ones like that, it was quite hard relative to the celery or the beetroots. So certain fruits which have a higher water content, fruits and vegetables, they'll be easier to kind of process, and therefore you get more juice from them, and there's less fibre that gets cut out of them, so you have to kind of refill less often. You can ignore the Copperberg bottle in the background, and we've had a bit of a splatter there as well. I thought I'd try it upside down, but yeah, it's fantastic. Really, really nice juice. It's a strange one. So this is the final day. I popped down to the Tesco. I grabbed a meal deal. It's £3.50 or £3.40 with the club card. Grabbed some coconut water, some melons and grapes, some pineapple, 1 or 2 avocados, some whole meal pittas. It didn't cost me much. It was like 9 or 10 quid. And you want to try to keep, you want to try and keep look at the smile I've got. It's fantastic. You want to try and keep minimal ingredients within the food. You don't want to, go straight back into eating pizza or cookies or cakes, or mixtures of ingredients. And so I did 7 days water fasting, and then I did 7 days juice fasting, and so this was the 14th day, 13th, I think it's the 14th day. So I hadn't eaten food in ages, and I would say relative to the first time in the summer, I was obviously elated to have food, but it wasn't. I remember thinking, you know what, I could have sat on juice for another week. It wasn't like any kind of groundbreaking moment. It was just like I remember what this feels like. So I remember sitting there, and I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest. I was happy and proud of myself that I managed to make it through the 2 weeks, but also I was a bit like, is this it? Like, I can't believe I've been thinking about food for this long, and now that I'm actually chewing again, I'm not even that excited for it. The grape was definitely better. The grape was great. And so with the juices, you do feel like you can survive just off the juices for a long time. And what I will say is that in the future, I'll definitely go back to either going on a raw vegan diet temporarily, or cellular detox diet, so that I can flush out all the kind of cellular contaminants, because I felt a level of energy that was just unmatched, unparalleled, relative to even the water fasting. I feel like, if your body allows it and you feel mentally ready for it, and you're under medical supervision, there's nothing particularly wrong with you, you should push it. But the hardest part for me was 2 weeks in, I'm sat there and I'm talking to my friends on the phone and whatnot, and they're all saying, I think you should eat now, mate. You should have something to eat now. So I got some pineapple there. The pineapple was great, I'm not gonna lie. The pineapple was just so juicy and fantastic. The melons they were a bit dry, to be honest. They're normally great if you pick them up as soon as they land. And yeah, so it was so sour. It was so hey, look at that. It's so sour. It's like you know, taming an eel or something. It was quite an electric moment, to be honest with you. So I had to have a moment after the first chunk of pineapple and wash it down with some fantastic coconut water. They do a white coconut water as well, which is like the pressed one. But the only thing with the white coconut water, although it looks more coconutty, it's actually from concentrate. So you want to pick the coconut water not from concentrate, because it's got more, in my personal opinion, it has more nutrients, minerals, vitamins, etc. in their natural ingredients. They're both natural. One of them has been kind of purified and rehydrated, and the other one is just straight as it is. So yeah, I'm kind of just tucking into the different elements here, trying the pineapple and whatnot. Sun was out. The sun started shining towards the end of it. It was a fantastic moment. Definitely a strange one. It's a strange one. I think in the future I will go again and I'll try and hit either 21 days or sometime longer and just see how I react or come off it, because at the moment, you know, I am back to eating full time. I've put on maybe 1 or 2 kilos again. I'm back up to 93-ish kilos. And digestion is great, energy is great. So this is some statistics from the Virgin body scan on the day before I think it's 2 days after I started. 2 days after I started, so obviously it gives you the main thing. My metabolic age actually dropped 6 years according to this, from 43 down to 37, which is great because I could feel the ease of clarity of thought, higher energy levels, my sleep was better, and I was having some very deep thoughts and, you know, clear thoughts relative to when you're eating all the time. You just don't have time to process often anything that's going on in your life. Yeah, so my basal metabolic rate had dropped down a bit. We've got the BMI, etc. here. It's dropped down to 26.4. Even the build, like, it dropped down to standard optimal, and it was in solid obese prior. the 6th, or what's the date today? It's the 6th of Jan today, and I began the juice fast. Well, the initial plan was to do a 14-day water fast. After 3-4 days, I had severe pain in my liver and my kidneys and my body all over, and I felt as if my body needed some nutrients in order to continue the fasting. I didn't want to push it too hard, so I effectively did was I swapped over from a 14-day water fast into a 7-day water fast and a 7-day juice fast, and then that kind of reduced the load or the pressure on the internal organs and the system and allowed itself to clear itself out, or allowed myself to clear itself out. And I would definitely recommend doing it. I've dropped 8 kilos in weight. I've put probably 9 kilos in weight, actually, 8.5, 9 kilos in weight. I've put 2 kilos back on, but that's a given considering you have at least 2 kilos of glycogen, so sugar stored in your muscles, that gets used up, generally speaking, when you're on a restricted calorie diet or a water fast. And that's going to come back regardless. I think, obviously, I don't want to talk about this. Well, I'll talk about it anyway because I was shameless here, but what I'll say is 5, 6, 7 days in, you'll be going to the bathroom and you'll be going to the toilet at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and you'll be busting a shit, right? You'll be blocking the toilet, and you'll be sat there, right? And you'll be thinking, wow, like, it's like giving birth to a kid. I'm a man, thank God I'm never gonna have to put up with it, but this the closest I can relate it is that something comes out of you and it's so deep from within you. I don't know if it's mucoid plaques or it's fibroids or it's all kinds of stones or something, but I was scared to even look in the bathroom. I was scared to look, and so part of me thinks that a lot of the low energy, low frequency fighting and arguments and lack of mental clarity and fog, it's not because, or the fact that you can't lose weight or you can't stick to a diet, and it's not because you are doing the wrong things. You're doing all the right things. You're dieting, you're fasting, you're having the nutrients, the minerals, the vitamins, you're running, you're doing everything right, but because you're so clogged full of shit, your body can't absorb any of the minerals in the food, or it can't start processing the fat around your system in order to try to clear out some of the stuff. So every day that went by, I felt more and more at ease, and I would say I felt just my face kind of relaxing and my body kind of relaxing, and my skin felt softer, my eyes looked whiter, everything was better, to be honest with you. And it was quite an interesting one just to have a 2 weeks out from food. And it's a really difficult period as well. I went down to my auntie's for Christmas, and all my relatives are over there, my nan, all my aunties, all my little cousins, and everyone's pigging out on food and cakes and cookies, and they're having beers and then pouring shots and stuff like that. And I couldn't partake in those activities, and it was really difficult. But then as I looked around the room, I shouldn't really judge people at Christmas, but I just felt like everyone was stuffing their face full of food, and I'm there having juices, and I've just felt so high off it that no intoxicant would ever make me feel the same way as the natural buzz that I got from just giving my system a break. And I spoke about this earlier as well, that every machine and vehicle, and say you're talking about a car, once a year you go and have to by law, you have to have an MOT, and they'll change or they'll check 72 different things on the car: the air pressure, the oil, you've got to change the oil filter, the air filter, the cabin filter, check all the axles, the steering, the drive, the exhaust, the fumes, all the inputs and outputs have to get tested and checked for rigorous kind of quality checks to ensure that you're at least driving at a safe standard. Long story short, there isn't a personal human body version of this, and I find it quite strange that your body is a very intricate piece of biological machinery, and if you spent 40-50 grand on a Beamer, you've got a nice X1 M Sport, you've got a nice 2 Series, or you've got your nice 4 Series M Sport, or some sort of a nice vehicle, like a high-tech, high-end vehicle machine or something. Right, I have to put in nice fuel, I've got to put nice oil in the car to keep the engine all lubricated and to keep everything firing at maximal possible capacity. But when you think about the body, which is an even more expensive, even more intricate, even more well-designed machine than the best Beamer or the best Bugatti or the best airplane. And you don't even know, well, I say you don't even know, human beings, we don't even know about half the mechanism. We're still learning now how the body actually works on the inside. So every day we're discovering more and more ways about how to operate the biological machinery. And I think in the future there will be a breakthrough at some point where the emotional machinery starts to get graphed and mapped, and the interaction between the mental, emotional, spiritual machinery and the physical machine starts to get mapped in terms of what happens when you are in a certain emotion, or what happens when you are feeling a certain way, or if you're in a high frequency or a low frequency, what happens to your body and cell. Now, the main point is that if you know that your car needs an MOT once a year by law, and you know that high-tech cars, so if you know anyone that's got a Range Rover and they're always breaking down and going in for services, and that's because they are literally high-performance vehicles which need a lot of TLC and maintenance. And it's the same with a Ferrari, or I'll tell you another one, Maserati is notorious for this. 2-3 grand for a service, oil service and a change. Every 3 months you have to go in, and what I'm ultimately getting at is, if you consider your body to be a more expensive piece of machinery than the most expensive car you can get, then you should also factor in yearly, quarterly, annual time, so that you can effectively look at trying to maintain the vehicle that you're moving around the reality in. And if you're not maintaining the vehicle that you're moving around the reality in, and what are you spending your money on? You're spending the other point as well, it's really interesting actually, I'm going to set up for this one. The other point as well was that effectively, when you look at really expensive deodorants, let's say, I don't know, you've got an Aventus Creed deodorant, Eau de Toilette or Eau de Parfum, like an oil-based perfume or oil-based spray, I can't get my words out. Lynx, let's just say Lynx, right? And you spray up and you want to smell good, you want to smell more attractive to the opposite sex. And what I actually realized when I was fasting is that the reason why we need nowadays so much deodorant and so much perfumes and so much, even the shower gel has a scent in it, they put oils and they put esters and chemicals in the actual shower gels in order to make it smell good, is because your body stinks. Your body has a horrible odor to it, and the reason why your body has a bad odor to it is because the quality of the food that's going in has obviously decreased. But in addition to this, not only has the quality of the food that's going in decreased, the body itself is not detoxing and clearing out all the stuff and removing the contaminants in a way that you can reach homeostasis or have a level of balance to it. That was another thing that conclusion that I came to whilst water fasting and juice fasting, is that the body, the system requires maintenance, but also it's like driving a car which has a broken engine and is making a loud noise, and then sticking one of those plugs in the back end to make a loud engine noise. So the outside world, you spraying up, is you making a loud engine noise, and you're ticking over, you're rolling up the road, everything looks alright. But if you pop the hood, look under the bonnet and you inspect the engine, you realise, oh, actually the gas kit's gone, or there's a pipe here that's overheating, or the oil is dripping out of this radiator, or the coolant missing. There's all kinds of things that go wrong on the inside, and they're relevant to regular maintenance. That was another few things that I came to the conclusion of. But in general, I've lost 8 kilos in weight. My skin is definitely clearer. The amount of spots and kind of stuff that was just coming out my system is unreal. Every night I'd do this anyway, but I would brush my teeth in the morning, and at night I'd have an extra shower, and I'd wake up in the morning again and I haven't really moved. And typically you have a shower at night, your bed sheets are clean, you have an exercise, you would just wake up and feel somewhat still not in the worst of states. But when you're water fasting, your body starts breaking down the fat stores all the toxins, and then the toxins are starting to become metabolized, hence why you have liver pain, hence why your skin starts peeling off, hence why your kidneys are in severe pain to the point where you can't sleep, you can't even turn over, it's difficult to breathe. I actually had to take paracetamols on day 3 and 4, maybe day 5 as well, just to go to sleep. And second point was during the juice fast element as well. The first day I started drinking the juices, which was the 7th day of the water fast, so maybe, I don't know, midday on the 7th day, I had a massive beetroot juice and a massive carrot juice, and I came upstairs, and just the sugars alone, maybe it's the sugars or God knows what it was, I felt so relaxed, I fell asleep for a couple of hours in the evening. The body just kind of switched off, and I kind of dozed off, and it's fantastic. So I woke up in a state that was, I could feel something was happening on the inside. There was definitely something happening. Now, I also had pain in strange parts of my body. You know, my wrist, my forearm was a seriously, you know, weird parts of your body hurt. And, you know, I look back and I think, wow, I can't believe that. God knows if your body's been waiting 10 years to get ill, and it can't get ill because you don't give it the time or energy or patience to just let it reset itself and recharge. And I think now that I'm eating again and I've gone back into full-time consumption of food, I basically started meal prepping in advance. What the main thing I've realized is I don't need to eat as much food, number one. I have no desire to eat processed food relative to before. Like, I don't want to eat the processed crap. I actually, in a strange way, I'm craving the juices again. I'm definitely craving the juices, and if it was possible to live off juices, and you think about it from a entropy point of view or a systems point of view or energy point of view, if you're processing the fruit and extracting the minerals, it's the easiest on your digestive system. So your digestive system works less hard, and therefore your body retains more energy. And if it was possible to live off juices, that would just be the most fantastic way. Live juices, smoothies, fruits, etc. But your body needs solid food. If you drink liquid calories all the time, it just kind of passes through you. And your body requires solid food, and your digestive system has to have some solid food in there as well. I don't think it's a long-term solution, but it's definitely, I would say, from a regular point, or it's time to time, it's required in order to just allow yourself enough energy to actually manifest or bring forth a life or a vision of a life that you actually want to live. So if your vehicle is clogged up with crap and your body's full of shit and your fats are full of toxins and you're spraying up, deodorant and perfume and 1 million and all this shit on top just to make yourself smell good and feel good, what you need to do is stop putting the food in, drink the water, clear the shit out, let your body physically allow itself to cleanse, and the toxins start breaking down in the fat and your body starts processing them. Like, I don't know to this day, even now, if it's possible to feel pain if your organs have any pain sensors in them because they're so far in you. I don't know if it's possible for your organs to feel pain because they're so far in you, but what I will say is I had conscious feeling of my liver and my kidneys on the left side specifically. It could have been the spleen as well, I don't even know if it was a spleen, but there was definitely some level of pressure. The first time I did the water fast in the summer, I went for 9.5, 10 days, but I drank lemon juice every day, and I drank vitamin C tablets, and I had salt, and I think the lemon juice was giving the liver support in order to help it kind of cleanse out. And if you look at most kind of detergents for the bathroom or the kitchen, they're all like lemon scented, citrus, because citrus cuts through fat. The citrus, the acids cut through the fat in terms of the molecular structure. So yeah, for anyone who hasn't tried it, I would definitely recommend, if you're feeling low energy, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling tired, if you have injuries which aren't healing, if you are feeling like you need to eat or eating, or you want more sugary and salty food, or you're conscious of using more and more body spray, or you're just fat. Let's just say you're fat, you're out of shape, and you want to lose some weight, and you've gone and approached some sort of medical professional, and this is not medical advice, I would definitely recommend going and looking at water fasting, if not juice fasting, or even if it's just intermittent fasting. I'm not an expert in any of this stuff. I'm just experimenting on myself, so I am a guinea pig. However, it makes sense that every system has an inbuilt refreshing, repairing, rejuvenating mechanism, and the body, just like every other natural mechanism or natural system, has some sort of a process within it to allow it to kind of reset, recharge, etc. But it's like you've got to stop putting stuff in for it, allowing. There's a backlog. It's like there's a raw mail backlog in one of the shipping warehouses, and in order for them to get the parcels out, they have to shut the facility down, stop accepting new parcels, and then process the ones that are in there. And then as the warehouse clears out, they can have a cleanup as well. They can look at doing new things. So that's some analogies that I'll give you to try to explain it to you in a way that actually makes sense. So yeah, thank you for watching. It's quite a long video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you feel as fantastic as I do a couple of weeks after. It's New Year's, everyone's still dying, and a lot of people are going to be looking at trying to bring some life back into the system and their state. If you haven't looked at it, definitely check it out. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you. Goodbye.